So in this video, we're gonna be rating the best Smash Bros trailers ever, like literally the best trailers of all time. It's going in A tier. This is objective, this is the truth. We're using a very scientific approach to this, so there's no feelings involved, there's no hearsay. This is the legitimate tier list for character reveals in Smash Bros history. All right, how does it work? Chat's probably wondering, how does this work? How do you objectively judge every single character reveal? It's subjective. First off, you're wrong. Second off, it's possible. It's definitely possible. How I'm doing it is that we're gonna have 3 rating systems. All right, first off, there is hype. How hype was the reveal? How many people went absolute apeshit over the character being revealed? That is the more or less the first one. Number 2 is a presentation. How is like the reveal basically? Is it kind of like, do they use a different art style? Is there a good build up? Is it right away? Is there a good storyline to the reveal trailer? That's the second one basically, is like how does it look? And then the third one is historical significance. This one's kind of tricky. It's a very iffy one to kind of judge by, but basically, does it break a barrier in the Smash franchise? Does this character inclusion open up doorways for other characters to get in? Is it memorable meme wise, gaming history wise? That's the third one. So there is we rate each of these categories out of 5. There'll be a final score, and we use that final score to place them on the tier list. So it is out of 15. I'll make it more precise. So this is 15. This is a score of 15. You hit all the marks. It's the best trailer of all time. You're a fucking god. Like, the character reveal is just perfect. Spoiler alert, there's like maybe 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 on this. Second one is A. Basically, you're almost perfect. There's like one thing missing. It's not the best, but it's pretty much perfect. It's like almost there. B. So it's great. It's a great trailer. Great trailer overall. It's missing a thing. It's missing a thing or two. And it's kind of a big thing, not really. But it's great. It's a B tier trailer. C, average. Hey, not bad to be average in life. If you're getting the trend now, 9 through 7. So you're still basically halfway there. You know, anything below 8 is below average, but you know, the 7 is still pretty average. Then you got D. These are pretty mediocre. They're not bad, but they're pretty, you know, they're bad. They're mediocre. They're very like, yeah, they're forgettable. They're very meh, and they're not really that good. F tier. It sucks. It's bad, and you know, that's that. Let me change these colors up really quickly though. We'll start with the Melee trailers and most of the Brawl trailers. Guess where they go? Guess where they go? Anybody have a guess? Where they go? A, S, B, C, D, F? You're wrong. They're not even trailers, all right? They're not trailers. We're not counting them. The thing is, we're rating the character reveal trailer. These guys are all in one, so we're not counting them. The Brawl trailer was awesome. The Melee trailer was amazing, but we're not rating the trailer of the game. We are rating the trailer of the character. Next up, we got Snake. Snake was a pretty big deal, alright? Snake was a huge deal. He was the first third-party character all time. And it was the first real character trailer ever, too. Let me tell you, I memorized the lines because of the amount of times I've seen the trailer, okay? The amount of times I've seen it, I memorized it. I get goosebumps rewatching it because I remember as a kid seeing Solid Snake in Brawl. I'm like, a third-party character in Smash? That's impossible. That's not a thing. But then it happens. And there's actually 2, fun fact. There's a Japanese reveal and there's the North American reveal trailer. The Japanese one is like more 3D animated than the Nintendo or the North American one. But it's a nice little fact to know. So, with that being said, Snake broke the internet back then. The infancy of the internet, not a lot of people were using it back then. They're still pretty big. So it doesn't have a lot of views. But it broke the internet. Snake and Smash, holy shit. The hype was unreal. So, First third-party character, hype is a 5. No question about that. Hype's a 5. First DLC character, first third-party character, sorry. First third-party character, first reveal trailer, and it's a cinematic. Pretty good. Pretty fucking good. The presentation, it's not perfect. You know, I'm not gonna weigh too much on based off the time period it was in. It was a great presentation. I give it a 4. The way he pops out of the box and he says, pretty clever, pretty clever. And then historical significance, the first, like I said, the first third-party character in Smash history. So I give it a 5 there. It's got a score of 14. It's going in A tier. We're already starting off hot. Second character, we got Sonic here. My boy Sonic. It was revealed on Smash Dojo, so it was separate from the other trailer. You had text flying in saying, "Oh, Sonic's in Smash." You had Sonic running over Mario. The footsteps coming in, running him over. It showcased him fighting. There's some funny moments in there. Typical Smash thing. It's kind of like for the time it was in, it was a gold standard for a trailer in my eyes. Now, the presentation, I gave it a 4 again. The hype was a 5 because like Sonic was still big back in the day. Third-party characters weren't really a thing yet, so I gave it a 5 for hype. And then historical significance, I gave it a 5 again because, again, it broke the barrier again for third-party characters. Because, you know, we just thought it was going to be Snake and that's it. No one thought, all right, we're getting Sonic too. It was like, no, it was like only Snake. And that's all we thought, you know? But we got Sonic as well. And then also, the Mario and Sonic beef was still kind of going on. Still kind of going on, but not really. So seeing Sonic versus Mario, that was like, people like flipped the shit when they saw that. Sonic and Mario in the same game that wasn't like the Olympic Games or some shit. Fighting each other. Score 14. 5 hype, 5 historical significance, 4 presentation. Gets an A tier from me. So the next one will be Villager. Alright, what's up? Post-production Fire Bro here. I fucked up with Villager really bad. The original scores was a 2 for hype, a 4 for presentation, and then a 2 for historical significance. I think I was way off base on that, and getting some new thoughts in, here are the new scores. So hype, it's a 3, just because Villager was decently requested back then during the day. We just take a lot of characters for granted nowadays, so he was decently requested. He wasn't as requested as, you know, Snake or Sonic or yada yada yada, but like, he was requested because there was yet an Animal Crossing character in Smash. So I'm giving it a 3 for that. Presentation, it was originally a 4. I'm gonna dock it a 3 just because it was short, it wasn't that great, but it gets a 3. And then finally, for historical significance, I'm going to give it a 3. Originally, it was a 2, and that was more of a pity point than anything. But now for 3, I just remember from my childhood that there was a lot of Villager memes of him being like the silent, creepy killer that had a little creepy smile on his face. So it sparked a lot of memes out of the character. It also was the first Smash 4 character announced. He was tagged alongside the Smash 4 trailer when it was initially announced. So that's why I'm giving him a 3 as well. So he's still in C tier, but he has a 9 as opposed to 8 now. Sorry about that, guys. Back to your regularly scheduled broadcast. Next one after that is Megaman. It was quick and to the point. It shows him immediately. It's basically Mario and like the gang on the bottom of the hill. And then on top you see Megaman. The lights turn on. You see that's Megaman. And once people saw that, it got, like, I got chills when I saw that as a kid. I got chills. Everyone freaked out when Mega Man was the game. He is like one of the most highly requested characters in Smash. Mega Man. He's fucking Mega Man. Like, you know, especially people who are older, they played a lot of Mega Man games growing up. When he was in Smash, groundbreaking that he's in. And it was an awesome track too. It was an awesome track. It showcases each, like, it would have like, you know, Blade Man. It would show him using the neutral B. What was it called? Leaf Man or something. Showcases his down B, I believe it is. Right? Is it his down B? I think it's his down B. I don't remember his moveset too much. But it shows like all his moves, like his down smash is Flame Man or Fire Man. Showcases that. Like, it's a very great presentation. Like, amazing, honestly. The hype, I gave it a 4. It wasn't absolutely groundbreaking breaking like Snake and Sonic, where it was like, oh my god, like, fucking, like, you know, this is impossible, but it happened kind of thing. And the presentation was a 5, like we just discussed. Has an awesome track. is fucking Megaman. Megaman! It showcases each of his abilities in a fantastic way, in my opinion. And it was just a great trailer. Historical significance, it was a 4. People remember it. Pretty memorable trailer. So I gave it a 4. Goes in A tier. But it's below these guys. Good thing these are ordered to an extent. Wii Fit Trainer. My boy Wii Fit Trainer. So it was funny. Everyone's basically doing yoga and shit. And then she just comes out of nowhere and like whoop, forward smashes them. They fly off the screen. That's the first time. I think the first time Mario got... Actually, no, not the first time. The first time in Smash 4 that Mario gets yeeted off the stage. It wasn't really a requested character. It was a joke character for the game, basically. Like, in Smash 64, there was Jigglypuff. In Melee, it was Game & Watch, kind of. Or Pichu. Actually, Pichu was more the joke character in that game. In Brawl, it was Rob, right? I can't think of any other characters that would go in that category. In 4, it was Wii Fit Trainer. So, you know, no one really requested the character in the game. The presentation, I gave it like a 4 just because, like, I might give it a 3, honestly. I thought it was creative. I thought it was pretty creative, you know, and it was pretty funny too. That's why I give it a 4, I think. No, I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna go back down to a 3, honestly. So it's a 3 for presentation. The hype was like a 1. The historical significance, like a 1. So I'll give it a 6. Fire Bro here again. I'm gonna bump her up to a 2 for historical significance because we got a lot of this after the direct.
Drop it.
So next one, we got Rosalina and Luma. Now this one is like one of the most beautiful trailers of all Smash. It is so beautiful. You have Kirby riding on Rainbow Road on his or her Warp Star, wherever they are. And at first you're like, okay, what is this? Is this a new Kirby character? Is it another Mario character? Like, what is it? You really had no idea what it was going to be. It was a good build up to the moment. And then out of nowhere, you see Luma come around, and then you see Rosalina, and you're like, oh shit, it's Rosalina for Smash. Pretty cool. Presentation, I gave it a 5. Hype was like a 3. I gave it a 3. In the historical significance, I gave it a 2. You know, the reason why is because you see a bunch of those GIFs now with DK, like his face zoomed in on Rainbow Road. That's why I gave it some historical significance, because there's some memes that came out of it. So, I gave it a score of 10. So it's a B tier. Next one is Little Mac. Our boy Little Mac. Where's he going all this? He's gonna go right here. He goes in B tier. So his trailer is immediate. You kind of know that it's Little Mac from the get-go. You see a guy wearing the pink hoodie, doing jump ropes, doing the punching exercises and all that shit. You see him doing that. You kind of already know it's him. But it's more about the presentation than anything. Doc Lewis telling him to do shit, you know, get better, you know, all this crap, whatever he's saying in the trailer. It's in a comic book kind of, it's a comic book kind of style, like art style per se. And, you know, it's a very requested character too. And another funny thing about it, was that, you guys remember, like, Samus was like, she was like really tall, and like Little Mac was really short, and Samus just goes like this. Like, I look really short. I thought that was really funny. So overall, I gave it a 4 for presentation. I gave it a 4 for hype, and I gave it 2 for historical significance. I thought, you know, and these are the requested character. I gave it, you know, I gave it a point there. I might give it a presentation of 5, honestly, because it was relatively well made. He's still in B tier though, because now he has an 11 out of 15. The next one, actually, I can't even put it in here. I put it in. I'll edit this in basically. But it's like Charizard is technically next. Now this is like an anti-trailer to me. This trailer was so disappointing because like Charizard's in the trailer with Mario, and it says, "Oh, Charizard joins in," and it's like, okay, where's Squirtle and Ivysaur? And then you just realize, wait, they got cut. Wait, what do you mean they got cut from the game? Where are they? So it's like the reveal trailer was lame, and then they're like indirectly telling you that like, oh hey, it's only Charizard this time around, fuck you. So he's not on here, but he'd be an F tier. He'd be a 0 out of 10. I actually put a -2. Because I didn't even realize he had a reveal trailer until I looked through all the reveal trailers. He's in with Greninja, which is a good segue to the next character. Greninja 1 is really cool in my eyes. It's a good battle scene, like, you know, between, you know, Mario and the gang versus Charizard at first, and then Greninja comes in later on. And then, you know, if you're a Pokemon fan, you like it, basically. I'm not into Pokemon that much, but, like, as a Pokemon fan, I realize that. Or, like, as a Pokemon fan, I can see how people liked it a lot. And you didn't really know who it was if you weren't a Pokemon fan. You just saw someone hanging from, like, below a tree. You didn't really know who it was, honestly. You know, at first, I thought it was Ninja Gaiden.
What? What the fuck?
But then, you know, obviously that was wrong, because it was Greninja. So, overall, Mario and the gang fighting Charizard and then Greninja, pretty neat. I gave it a 4. The hype was a 3. For the Pokemon fans, I would assume it was like a 3. You know, Greninja's Greninja. It's not as well known, you know, mainstream wise as other Pokemon, but I would assume pretty hype. And the historical significance, I gave it a 1. You know, nothing too relevant there. There's no memes that came out of it. Nothing, not too memorable of a trailer. So that gives him a score of 8. That puts him in B tier with Villager, basically. You know, you can put those any way you want to. Next one up, we got Palutena. Look, it shows her right away, but you don't really know that it's her yet, because it doesn't say, oh, Palutena joins the battle. Because you think, oh, maybe it's another like Kid Icarus character. Maybe it's like she's just kind of like an actor and like an actress for a different character in a different franchise. But I love the Pit and Dark Pit fight. It has such an amazing art style. It's kind of like I don't know if it's anime. I don't think it's anime. I might be wrong on that shit. So, you know, comment down below. Like, you know, I don't know what the art style is, but it's a very beautiful art style. It's like Link and Pit dueling each other, and then like she just bails Pit's like Pit's about to die, basically. Like Link just kicks Pit. He's on the ground. Link's about to kill him, and then Palutena comes in and she's like, basically, I'm gonna bail your ass out. Like, that's what she does. And then she floats him away. She literally just does some magic shit, and she like he's just flying away now, Pit. So I thought it was pretty funny how he just casually floats away. And then also the voice acting's a plus. The voice acting's a huge plus. So with that being said, great voice acting, very good art style. I gave the presentation a 5. The hype was like a 2, and the historical significance was like a 1. No memes came out of it. Not really, nothing too like, you know, great from it. So it gets an 8. Oh, another average trailer. So Pacman, where does Pacman go? Where does he go, guys? Pacman, my boy, goes in B tier. He goes in B tier. Basically, the theme is like red, blue, and yellow, basically. And the trailer idea itself, when you first watch it, you're like, okay, what does this mean? Like red. It shows Mario with red, blue with not Pac-Man, with Megaman and Sonic. And it's like, all right, like cool. Like, was it green now? Is it yellow? You don't really know what's next. And then you see a yellow circle, and it doesn't really hit you then. And then it turns into Pac-Man, and you're like, oh fuck, Pac-Man's in the game. Like, to tell you the truth, it was kind of lame, the presentation, like red, blue, and yellow. They could have done something better, you know? Like maybe it's like they're all trapped in the maze that doesn't look exactly like the Pac-Man maze, and then Pac-Man bails them out or something like that. That would have been pretty cool. But, you know, I give the presentation a 2. The hype, it was fucking Pac-Man, you know, like gaming icon, fucking Pac-Man, like the first real video game mascot was Pac-Man. So, you know, pretty fucking hype. Pretty hype. I gave it a 4. And then historical significance, I gave it a 4 because, like I said, first video game mascot, decently requested in the game, and it's kind of an ode to you know, to Namco. So it gets a 10. It gets a 10. And out of these 3, I would still put, you know, out of these 3, I put them in the bottom. I think Rosalina's is better and more memorable than Pac-Man's, and Little Max, you know, I think is more memorable than Pac-Man by far. We got Lucina. We got Lucina and Chrom. So you kind of know it's her from the get-go. It shows her fighting. It's a Fire Emblem-ish art style, basically. It's Fire Emblem. but it's the first Fire Emblem character in Smash 4, so I went light on it. I'm like, all right, it's the first Fire Emblem character in the game. It's decently hype, I would imagine. So I give the presentation a 3. It has the art style, but it's kind of rushed and to the point, so there's no build up at all. It's not that cool. The hype was a 2. You know, I'll give it a 2 because, you know, it's Fire Emblem. You know, people like it. It's the first Fire Emblem character in the game in Smash 4. You know, they had Marth, they had Ike, but Lucina was the first, you know, newcomer for Fire Emblem. So, you know, gave him a 2. Historical significance, gave it a 2. You know, she's in the game now. That's nice, you know, like, again, the first one. So I gave her a 7. And Robin's more or less the same thing, you know. Kind of, she's like floating anonymously. It's also pretty short. And it was also good that we didn't get a sortie per se again. It's like, it gets a 7. Presentation's a 3. Hype's a 2. Historical significance, a 2 again. So, average trailers in C tier. Not bad or anything. Shulk is up next. Now, it was funny because in the trailer, Bowser's kind of like, you know, he's acting like a wild animal basically, like he's out in the wild, and then Shulk comes out of nowhere and just fucks him up basically. And then you got him fighting Link and Marth, which is pretty cool. So you know what? Not too memorable, but it was pretty cool. I get the presentation a 2. You know, the Bowser like gag was pretty nice, but it wasn't anything too cool. The hype was a 2. Is that right? Nope. The hype was a 4. I would imagine the hype would be a 4 for Shulk. There's a lot of Xenoblade fans out there. This is like the first character getting in. I can see a pretty decent amount of hype for the character, so I gave it a 4. And then historical significance, I gave it a 2. Because, you know, it's Shulk. Nothing too groundbreaking. It's a first party character. So, you know, I gave it an 8. The Bowser Jr. one is pretty badass. I will say. The trailer for Bowser Jr. is pretty badass. And I'll say it straight up. He's also, a lot of these trailers are average. Like a lot of these, like in a row, these are all pretty average, which, you know, not a bad thing, but like nothing too memorable, you know. So Bowser Jr., it's pretty badass. It kind of gives you vibes of like Subspace Emissary because you have Mario and Megaman in there, and I think Link's in there as well. And it's starting nighttime, and you see Bowser Jr. come out of nowhere. He starts dueling all the people, and it's really cool. And to see Mario and Bowser Jr. fight together like one-on-one in like a setting that isn't like kiddie-like it seems pretty like badass. It's like, you know, Mario throwing a punch in there, Bowser Jr. having his clown cart like glove going in there as well. It's cool. You don't see that in the Mario games. It's just Mario fucking jumping on him like boop, boop, like it's man. So seeing that was really cool. So the presentation, I gave it a 3. The hype was a 3 because, you know, Bowser Jr. was decently requested. So I gave it a 3. Historical significance, I gave it a 1. Like, nothing too groundbreaking. It's like a Mario character, so I gave it a 7. Goes in C tier. Duck Hunt. The cunt. My boy the cunt. Where does he go? So, he goes in here. Oh, not here. Oh, here. So with him, it's like, like I said, I'm a sucker for different art styles. I am. If you use a different art style for a trailer, you automatically get like a 4 or a 5. So with Duck Hunt, I give him a 4 for presentation. And he didn't really know it was Duck Hunt until it zoomed in on him. It was an 8-bit trailer. It shows, you know, the game Duck Hunt. It shoots like all the birds. It misses one. The Duck Hunt goes, ooh, and like, you know, it zooms in on him or something like that. And then you see Mario and Link and Pit, all like in their 8-bit forms, walk towards him. And then it reveals him as, like, you know, as in the picture, like the Smash 4 graphics. I gave it 1 for that, and then I gave it 1 for historical significance. So it's a mediocre trailer. Like, again, it's like you gotta hit all 3 of them. You can't just hit one. You can't hit all, like, you can't hit just one and then expect to be like fucking S tier. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how the scientific method works. You gotta hit all 3 categories. You gotta hit the hype. You gotta hit the presentation. You gotta hit the historical significance. And he hits only 1 out of 3. So he gets a mediocre one. You got Mewtwo. So with Mewtwo is weird, alright? It's a dark screen. You see a silhouette of some character, and it shows that it's Mewtwo, and it says Mewtwo's on the way. that's basically it. The hype was unreal though, because Mewtwo was out of Brawl, replaced by Lucario in all likelihood. That was probably the replacement character because they're both similar in their abilities. That's basically it. Like it was really hyped that he was back. He was in Project M, so it was a very requested character to begin with. So I give it a 5 for hype.
I'm gonna give it a 4 for hype instead. You know, it's not like Cloud or Sephiroth or some impossible ass character, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
It was hyped to see Mewtwo back in the game. The presentation though was a 1, and the historical significance, I gave it a 3 because it basically told us that, like, hey, just because you weren't in every Smash game or you were cut off from one Smash game doesn't mean that you're like out for good. So he's like a C tier. He's average, you know. He gets carried by hype low key. Carried by hype. The next one is Lucas. So, and this is another thing too. I forgot to mention this earlier. All the Smash 4 DLC, for the most part, there's no cinematic trailer, so they have a massive handicap. Like a massive handicap compared to the rest of these trailers, for the most part. Aside from the Brawl ones, but the Brawl ones get more, you know, they get more of like, you know, a handicap because, like, you know, it was the first game with like reveal trailers, so I cut it some slack. So with Lucas, it's like you see Ness getting beaten up, and it's pretty funny. Like he gets his ass beat by like literally every character in existence, and then Lucas comes in, bails his ass out, and that's it. You know, it's like I gave the presentation a 2. You know, pretty fun, a good storyline, not a cinematic, so loses points on that. The hype was also a 2. You know, actually, you know what? I'll give it a 3. You know, people wanted Lucas back in Smash, sort of, after he was not announced for like the initial lineup. So I'll give it a 3. Historical significance, I gave it a 1. So that lands him in a 6. So basically we're Duck is. Same spot, basically. And then Roy, another heavily requested character to be back in Smash. He got cut from Brawl. They put him back in. The hype was a 4. Pretty hype. You know, not as hype as Mewtwo, because Mewtwo was the first one to break that precedent of, hey, just because you're out of Smash doesn't mean you're out for good, you know? So he gets a 4 for hype, 2 for presentation, because again, you know, it's just, you know how it is. It was no cinematics. Historical significance, 1. So he's like a 7. He's like at the bottom of average in my eyes. Ryu's up next, and what I like about Ryu's trailer is that even with the lack of cinematics, they had the text in Street Fighter text, and they had a nice build up to the character. They really did. If you watch the trailer again, they had a nice build up. It's creative for the lack of cinematics they had, and the hype obviously was there. It's fucking Ryu. Like, people want Ryu in Smash, so I give the hype a 5. The presentation, despite the lack of cinematics, I thought it was creative what they did, so I gave it a 3. And then historical significance, I gave it a 4.
Because he was the first traditional fighter in Smash, so it was really unprecedented for that time period.
So I gave it a score of 12. So it's up here. Now next up is my boy Cloud. My boy Cloud. You already know where he's going. Oops, not there. My B. He's up here basically. You can make a case for either of these 3. You know, Cloud would have been an S tier, okay? Why is he an S tier? The presentation was very average. It just showed like a white screen, the Final Fantasy logo, and then the boots of him walking. You know, it was creative what they did, but it wasn't a cinematic. If it was like the Sephiroth trailer with a cinematic, oh my god, don't even get me started. This shit would be up here. Game over. Game over. He would be S tier without a doubt. The hype was a 5. It's fucking Cloud. Square Enix. Not the best turn from Nintendo back in the day, but they somehow mustered to get him into the game. That's fucking awesome. It's Cloud. It's Final Fantasy VII. It was a long shot. So historical significance is a 5. It's like, oh shit, Cloud's in the game. Maybe we get Sephiroth as well. And people laughed that off, and we got him. So it was a 5 for hype, 5 for historical significance, but a 3 for presentation. If it had cinematics, I guarantee you it would be S tier, but it's not. So objectively, it's A. Objectively, it's A. We got Corin next. So it's funny. For some reason, Corin has a cinematic, but no one else does for the DLC. I find that the most bizarre thing. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Out of all the characters that had to have a cinematic for DLC, the one that you pick is Corin, the fucking foot fetish, like not Pokemon, fucking Fire Emblem character. The foot guy, really? Out of all the DLC characters that could have one, you picked, like, my opinion, the least significant one. My eyes, the least significant one. I know what it was, Fire Emblem Fates or whatever. It's a 3DS Fire Emblem game that came out for it. So yeah, it fit pretty good. Like, you know, decent presentation, has the Fire Emblem kind of like presentation look to it. You know, I give the presentation a 3 for that. The hype is a 1. It's like it's another Fire Emblem character. It was another Fire Emblem character because Lucina and Robin were already in the game. So it's like it's another Fire Emblem character. We get one Fire Emblem character per game, and then anything after that is just another Fire Emblem character in the people's eyes. Historical significance was also, you know, a 1. It's like another Fire Emblem character. So it's a 5. It's mediocre. It doesn't. The cinematic is good, but everything else is like meh. Oh yeah, and then also we have Dark Pit. Dark Pit's an F. Dark Pit shows up at the end of the trailer. They don't really reveal him at all. He's just kind of there. So Bayo is going over here. Put him anywhere over here. Put him over here. Why not? She gets a 9 out of 15. Pretty hype. She was the most requested character out of all the countries. Now, when he said, oh yeah, he's the most requested character overall, I'm like, that's fucking horseshit. She was not the most requested character overall. It had to be either Sora, Banjo, like Simon, Richter, Ridley, KK Rool. It's like, no, it's like, she's not the most requested character of all time. No, that's a bullshit lie. Like, she's probably like near the number 10 or number 15 on the list. In my eyes. They were capping on that. You know, it was pretty hype though. Europe wanted her the most. The US was probably like in the top 10, probably. Japan, probably the same thing. So, you know, decently hype. People really want her in the game, but it wasn't as strong as other characters. But I gave the hype a 4. I gave it a 4. Historical significance a 3, because it was the last character and, like, you know, decently requested. Their presentation was like a 2. It wasn't that great, honestly. It was a very average trailer. Oh my god. Mii Fighters. I forgot about them. So here's the thing about Mii Fighters. This is what I mean about the objective tier list. So you don't have to have the most hype trailer, okay? You don't have to have the most hype trailer. All you need is a good presentation to be significant in some sort of way. It's an S intro, bro. I was gonna do that. It's an S intro, baby. No, it's not an S intro, but it's pretty high up there. It's surprisingly, it's a B tier intro. You have Iwata, rest in peace, Iwata, rest in peace, and you got Reggie duking it out in like this, like kind of like, it's not stop motion necessarily, but it's like this weird kind of like real life, but like it's also like highly edited kind of fighting sequence. Like they're both just like beating each other up. They're like flying in the air, they're doing flips and shit. It's like it came with a lot of meme material, basically. There's a lot of meme material in there. And you didn't even know who it was. It's like, okay, why are they fighting each other? It's like, who's the character? Is it them? Is Reggie the character for Smash? Is it Iwata? Is it Sakurai that's in Smash? You know who it was. And Reggie gets yeeted at the end. Oh my god. The presentation was like a 5 because of how creative it was to introduce Mii characters. It was significant because there was a lot of memes that came out of it. Reggie was in the trailer, and Iwata was in the trailer. The hype though was like a 2. It was like a 2. It wasn't like too groundbreaking. It was cool to see it, but like it was like, holy shit, Mii characters in Smash, holy fuck. It was just like, yeah. Oh, look, Mii characters in Smash, and we got this funny trailer. So that's why I put it in B tier. It gets an 11 out of 15, which is really good. Now you can see that this is like a nice little bell curve. We have 0 in S tier. We have 4 in A tier. We have 5 in B tier. We have what? 9 in C tier or 10 in C tier. We have 4 in B tier, and we have 1 in F tier. Oh, we have technically 2 in F tier. We have Charizard in Dark Pit. I'm gonna put an image in there somewhere. But that's it.
So obviously I made some post-production changes to my tier list, and I'll continue to make those changes before I release part 2. If you want to watch the whole entire unedited VOD, it's going to be on my Twitch channel, Fibro17, which I'll be doing part 2 of this segment live for the whole entire audience. If you think I overrated a character or underrated a character, comment down below with a convincing argument of why I should give that character more points in a specific category. If it beats the threshold, I'll move it up a tier. If it, you know, is worse, then I'll move it down a tier. So let me know in the comments below a convincing argument for your character.